Test number 2, City Housing Hamilton, shareholder AGM, test number 2.
Right. Good morning and welcome to the City Housing Hamilton Corporate Shareholder Annual General Meeting on March 3rd, 2025. We are just waiting for one more member of council to make quorum. We do have some regrets this morning from members of council due to the mayor's task force on tariffs happening this morning as well. All right, so I'm going to call today's meeting to order. Good morning. As we currently have quorum present, I'd like to call today's annual general meeting of the City Housing Hamilton Corporation to order. Please remember that all electronic devices are to be switched to a non-audible function during committee meetings and after the weekend break. So first up on our agenda today is the approval of our agenda. May I please have a mover and a seconder to approve today's agenda? Thank you to Councillor Cassar and Councillor Maureen Wilson on approval of the agenda. Is there any discussion on today's agenda? Seeing none, if you could indicate your approval of the agenda with a show of hands. Councillor Pauls, are you in favor of approving the agenda? Just a show of hands? Yep. Okay. Thank you. That carries unanimously. On to declarations of interest. Are there any declarations of interest for today's meeting? Oh, yes, Councillor Kretsch.
I'm just flagging this. Not sure if it will be a conflict of interest, non-disqualifying, but on the October 29th, 2024 minutes, I know that Wade Poziomko was a lawyer that was present at that discussion. So I'll just check in with the Integrity Commissioner before council. I don't think there's a conflict, but I just wanted to flag that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Pardon me, on which item, Councillor Kretsch?
October 29th, 2024 minutes.
Oh, okay, thank you.
No problem.
Perfect. Are there any declarations of interest or potential declarations of interest? Seeing none, those who have a non-disqualifying interest will participate impartially in the decision-making processes related to the matter. On to the approval of minutes from previous meeting. Could I have a mover and a seconder to approve the minutes as presented in our agenda package this morning? Councillor Pauls and Councillor Cassar, thank you. Is there any discussion on any of the minutes? Seeing Councillor Maureen Wilson on the speakers list, followed by Councillor Clark.
Thank you, Chair. I have a question with respect to the October 29th, 2024 minutes.
That's the next item.
Oh, beg your pardon. My apologies. I thought we were on the minutes.
Apologies, the minutes from the previous AGM is first. I wasn't clear either. I would have made the same mistake myself as chair. We are doing the minutes from our previous AGM, then we'll be doing the minutes from board meetings themselves. So just on the AGM's minutes. Not seeing any discussion. Councillor Clark, you were also on the other minutes? Yeah. So those were moved and seconded, and we can call for a vote via show of hands. Thank you. That carries unanimously. Could I use the same mover in Councillor Pauls and seconder in Councillor Cassar to move the minutes from the previous City Housing Hamilton Board of Directors minutes, listed as 5.1A through E in the agenda? Councillor Maureen Wilson, I'm going to go to you as having a question on these minutes.
Thank you, Chair. I know every board does minutes differently, and sometimes there's a tagline attached to the subject matter for folks going in closed session. My question is with respect to the October 29th, 2024 minutes. I note there are 2 external guests that were invited for the in-camera session. I don't know if it's in order for me to ask in what capacity they were attending, particularly because they were in, I believe, also active litigation with the city at the time. So I don't know if that is to the president, CEO, or to clerks. Thank you.
Through the Deputy Mayor, Adam Sweetland, Chief Executive Officer, City Housing Hamilton. Yes, so the guests that you're referring to in the minutes of October 29th were attending to provide advice to the City Housing Hamilton Board with respect to a tenant issue, a landlord-tenant issue.
Thank you. That is good to know. I appreciate that insight. Thank you.
Councillor Clark, was that your question, or did you also want to jump on the speakers list? Okay. Welcome to Councillor Danko. Are there any other speakers or questions on the minutes of the previous CHH board meetings? Seeing no flurry of hands, and I think that was the same question over there. We have a mover, we have a seconder. Show of hands for approval of the minutes.
This is just to receive those.
Oh, sorry, show for receipt of the minutes. Thank you, clerk. That carries. And on to 5.2 in our agenda. This is the 2023 annual report. I am pleased to turn it over to Adam Sweetland, CEO of City Housing Hamilton, to introduce the annual report and answer any questions on it today. Adam, over to you.
Thank you. Through the Deputy Mayor. I want to just begin by acknowledging the sort of unfortunate timing of the 2023 report. The cybersecurity incident impacted our ability to access the financial information and other data needed, so the contents may seem somewhat stale. For this reason, I'm going to just give an abbreviated overview of the report. But with that said, it does still highlight many important and notable achievements of staff and tenants, leadership, and I want to take that opportunity to note some of those and thank everyone involved. If I had to sum up the work that we did in 2023, it would be about advancing priorities identified in the City Housing Hamilton strategic plan by building foundational strength to support future successes, many of which we have already seen come to fruition. In 2023, for example, 476 homes were identified as having sat for far too long for a variety of reasons and having an estimated cost to turnover of $5.7 million. By the end of 2023, this number was reduced to 233, and by the end of 2024, only 10 remained with contractors or awaiting new tenants. I need to thank Council for supporting the additional $3.8 million investment and 1.9 of City Housing Hamilton funding to tackle this backlog. I also want to acknowledge the leadership of City Housing Hamilton's President, Ward 3 Councillor Narinder Nan, and Mayor Andrea Horvath for making this possible. With the funding secured, we focused heavily on overhauling how CHH meets the ongoing demands of unit turnover and tackling the unacceptable backlog. So we created new internal policies and procedures. We established tighter timelines for internal staff and third-party contractors. And frankly, we did a much better job at holding ourselves and our vendors accountable. This effort resulted in a significant increase in the number of households we were able to house. In 2023, we housed 535 households, or 25% more than 2022. And as we have been sharing, we housed a record number of 734 households in 2024. That success was possible because of the work that we did in 2023, and staff should feel proud of their efforts on turning this situation completely around. Also in 2023, pardon me, I'm going to take some water. We continue to celebrate and support the many partnerships and volunteers who work with dedication and commitment to enrich the lives of City Housing Hamilton tenants. Food security continues to be an important issue, which disproportionately impacts many people in city housing communities. And this critical issue formed the very basis of beneficial partnerships with agencies such as St. Matthew's House, Wesley Urban Ministries, Food for Life, McQueston Farms, Goodwill Industries, Christian Fellowship Church. Many, many thanks to these partners, the dozens of tenant volunteers, and the staff who collectively support this effort. One of City Housing Hamilton's strategic focus areas is to give tenants a sense of pride in home. In 2023, the board approved additional investments to enhance preventative maintenance, and we used the unit turnover process as an opportunity to enhance the quality and aesthetics of the City Housing homes and improve accessibility measures. We also resurrected the Garden Awards to encourage community beautification, and it had more response than it has ever had. So I want to thank the staff who are working to continuously improve how we maintain our properties, and the staff who brought the garden contest back to life. In late 2023, we welcomed 103 households to our new build at 8 Roxanne, and we advanced 4 other developments. 2 of those were completed in 2024, and 2 are scheduled to open in late spring, early summer of 2025, actually ahead of schedule. All of City Housing Hamilton's new builds are constructed to Passive House standards to achieve near net zero emissions and provide year-round comfort to tenants. So thank you to the development team, our partners, and our funders for giving the community these incredible new homes. In addition to building new to Passive House standards, City Housing Hamilton works to preserve its existing assets with the same sustainability in mind. We are targeting a 25% reduction of energy usage and greenhouse gas emissions by the end of 2028. And we are on track to meet these targets because of projects such as roof and window replacements, replacing end-of-life HVAC equipment with higher efficiency equipment, continuing to upgrade refrigerators, thermostats, LED lighting, and many other similar projects. The staff working on our asset renewal deserve thanks for the hard work to improve the conditions and increasing overall comfort for City Housing tenants. I will just wrap up with some quick thank yous. I want to thank the City Housing Hamilton Board of Directors for its support and forward-thinking direction, and the senior leadership team for its professional advice and commitment to continuous improvement. I want to thank the staff at City Housing Hamilton who really do show up for our tenants every day with unbelievable dedication and optimism. I love seeing and being part of how they are always willing to go above and beyond to support and give back to the communities too. I certainly hope they feel as celebrated as they deserve to be. And of course, I want to thank everyone who calls City Housing Hamilton home. We know we don't always get everything right, but the many tenants who reach out on a regular basis to express their kind words and sentiments are essential to keeping us driven, focused, and determined to be our best and to do our best to put tenants first. Thank you.
Thank you very much, CEO Swedlund. May I have a mover and a seconder just put the presentation on the floor for receipt? Thank you, Councillor Kassar, Councillor McMeekin. Is there any questions on the 2023 annual report? Not seeing any questions at this time. I'm going to call for a vote by show of hands. All in favor? Councillor Pauls, are you in favor of receiving the report? Yeah, thank you, everyone.
And Councillor Danko?
Oh, and Councillor Danko? Yeah, perfect. Okay. All hands have been up. That carries unanimously. Thank you very much, CEO Swedlund. Next on our agenda is 6.1. These are the audited consolidated financial statements for the year ended on December 31st, 2023. And then instead of approving the financial statements now, these will be done via the shareholder resolution. So we don't need a mover or a seconder, but are there any questions to staff on the financial statements at this time? Not seeing any. We can move right on to 10.1. Which is the shareholder resolution. May I have a mover and a seconder to put the shareholder resolution on the floor? Councillor Kassar and Councillor Tattison, thank you very much. Are there any questions on the appointment and remuneration of the auditor? Not seeing any questions, then we are able, if you're please able to indicate your vote via show of hands, all in favor. And that's everyone. Thank you very much. The motion's carried. There being no other business, this meeting is adjourned at 9:46 a.m. Thank you to the shareholders.
Thank you.